Sports on Tap is brought to you by the Joe Wright Group with Dobie Real Estate, Jason Stiltner at Flagstar Bank, Time Out with Steven Scott, presented by Baldman Entertainment.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Sports the way it should be. Nothing sugar-coated, we loaded with all the information you wanted. From legends to prospects, nothing's off limits. Chris and Joe be taking on all topics with no stopping. They keep it rolling and going and ball hopping at a rate that's hard stopping. With news that's jaw dropping, they're getting it in. Sports Center competition, man, they in it to win. This ain't a fluke, from Carolina to Duke, from MSU to Michigan. You'll know if you listening, if you ain't, you missing it. All the excitement, they shock like a thundercloud and ride with lightning. Get it together, you know ain't nobody better. Bring heat than cold weather. You better put on a sweater, you better just let it go and all come and attack. Sit back, relax, let's tell them it's on tap.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Welcome to Sports on Tap. I'm Chris Scott alongside Joe Waddell and Frank Gigata. We're back after a little week hiatus after, as I posted on our social media page, what can only be described as a factor of old age. So, good to have you back, Joe.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Kind of.
Is it feeling better?
Yeah, a little bit. It's been a rough couple weeks. It got better, then it got worse again, and
Yes.
yeah, getting old fucking sucks.
It does.
But
So,
you know, it's better than the alternative.
this is true. Very true. So, we're going to jump right into it because this is something we kind of had a side conversation about, and I kind of wanted to talk about this when it happened, but obviously we had to wait to do it, but we're going to do it now. This whole Tim Anderson, Josh Donaldson thing, I was thinking about it this basically for the past week or so when I first heard about it. And then, everything's kind of coming out, what was said, and if it was an inside joke or whatever. And I sit back and I'm not angry about it, more irritated about it than anything, because it's just all right, man,
See, and that's kind of what what I was getting at is it's just irritating to me that no matter what someone says these days.
Especially if it's between black and white.
Right. If it's
between two different races.
Especially if it's between two different races, it's just going to be somebody's super offended, right?
Or somebody's being racist.
Somebody's being racist. Right. Somebody's offended. And listen, I'm not here to tell you what you should and shouldn't be offended by. I'm just here to say, me personally, I think as a society in general, as a whole, we get way too offended at way too many things these days. And not everything is meant to be a derogatory term meant to offend somebody. I mean, sometimes somebody's just being an asshole and just being a dick. And I think Josh Donaldson is an asshole.
But so is Tim Anderson.
But so okay. And
I like Tim Anderson.
In this whole scenario, the end all be all for me is, dude, you fucking called yourself Jackie Robinson in an interview.
Yes.
So when Josh Donaldson, calls you Jackie to get under your skin and be a dick, he's not being racist.
Nope.
Yeah. He's referring to how you compared yourself to Jackie fucking Robinson.
Which I think is even more disrespectful than what Josh Donaldson said. Honestly. It's I'm going to change the game. How are you going to change the game? More than Jackie Robinson changed the game. How? Are you going to break color barriers in Major League Baseball? No.
No.
All right. You're done. That's it.
Not to correct you, but he said it's getting to a point where I need to change the game. So it's not even...
While comparing himself to Jackie Robinson.
Yes. I'm just getting the exact quote.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But he's saying that in regards to doing what Jackie Robinson did. Well, how are you going to do that? How?
I entirely agree.
Well,
you can't be the first to somebody
Right.
when there's plenty of everybody now on the field.
right. And I'm not even gonna. Sorry, Chris. I'm not even gonna defend Donaldson because I can't stand the dude. I think he's a
he's
douche.
a fucking douchebag.
I think he's a douche. But in this scenario, he was just being a douche. He wasn't being racist. He was just being a dick to the guy by calling him Jackie. For
It's
something
like
that the guy
referred to
himself as.
Right.
Okay.
It's like when you do something or you quote something and you refer to yourself as a character from a movie or a TV show or what. And then your buddy's a smart ass later on. He's like, yeah, okay, McConaughey.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, and
Now,
I get that.
now, if a black guy said that to you, is that racist?
I mean, if
Like seriously.
McConaughey is one of the most identifiable white guys. So I mean,
but you see my point here.
No, I agree.
And if we want to go specific, like the nickname I got was from playing football, and I was called the Bus. So, like in my situation, I was a white dude being called black guy's nickname. So, like that didn't apply to me.
Racist.
Yeah.
Right, and that's why I say, like in my situation, that I can relate to it.
I would have been.
It doesn't work.
I would have been totally offended if I were you, because not only calling you Bus, it's like a weight dig, right? They're calling you big, but then they're also calling you the nickname of a black guy. So that was also really like I would be offended in every way by that, right? Right? Isn't that what we're not? No, that's not.
But see, like this is a beef.
You're trying. I know what you're trying to do.
Like this is a beef that they've had going on for a couple years now.
Yeah, from what I'm reading
that's
here,
fine.
It goes back to their back to the days of Donaldson being in
Right.
Minnesota.
And so they've had a beef for a while now, and it's kind of escalated, and it's gotten to this point. But by like Tony La Russa coming out saying, "Oh, it's racist." And
Okay, first of all, that guy needs to just go sit on his porch and yell at kids to get off his lawn at this point.
Tony La
Like,
Russa,
Wasn't he
I'm
being
sorry.
called racist like 3 years ago? Wasn't there a situation with La Russa where he got himself into some shit for
Yeah,
saying something?
he got a second fucking DUI.
Oh, that's what it was. I knew he did something stupid. Yeah, that's the guy we need to be taking life advice from. Right?
So you got that guy, and then you got some of the White Sox players coming out and just saying, "Oh, it was totally uncalled for." And I mean, granted, even Aaron Judge came out today and he said, it's probably not the best thing to say."
No, it was a stupid fucking thing to say.
Fair enough. It was, but my point is, it wasn't racist. Now, by saying it was racist, that kind of takes away from what something that's actually racist is.
right.
I was going to say, you can, especially with what you and I are following so closely right now, the NHL playoffs. You look at the Nazem Kadri situation.
Yeah.
That's racist.
That's racism. That's legitimate racism. He's getting derogatory slurs,
everything,
and, and messages on his social media pages and things like that.
Well, and I'm with you here because it kind of it kind of negates or not negates.
I
but
can always say it like devalues the word.
Yeah,
a little
it
bit.
diminishes.
That diminishes probably the best.
Yeah,
better word to
it
use, yeah.
diminishes actual racist things that happen and are said.
Right.
And we should be appalled by those things. Actual racist things and actual racist speech. We should be offended by that. This was not that. This was a guy referring to somebody as a name he referred to himself. Now, if Tim Anderson didn't refer to himself as Jackie Robinson or didn't refer to himself as Jackie, whatever, then you might go, if that doesn't happen and Donaldson calls him Jackie, then maybe it has a racist undertone. But when you know the whole story and you know that he referred to himself as Jackie Robinson, you're like, oh, wait a second. No, he's literally just referencing a fucking interview that this guy did.
And to put yourself on that pedestal is...
It opens yourself up to be.
It really does.
It does, but I don't want... I'm trying to find the right word to say. It's insulting to what Jackie actually did for the game.
And what Jackie actually
Stood for and what he went through.
And I'm sure, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure Tim Anderson has gone through some similar stuff to Jackie Robinson. I have no doubt about that.
I can't imagine what he's had to deal with.
But I probably damn sure guarantee you he didn't go through half the shit that Jackie Robinson went through.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was definitely an insult. It was an uncalled for remark. I'll give you anything you want on the topic except racist. That's where I fall short on it.
Like we said,
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I say uncalled for shit every day at work, and I mean, it
half
is
the
what
time we go on, I say uncalled for shit. Like,
yeah, it was just the more I thought about it, the more I'm just like, and people are just going, "Oh, it was a racist comment. It was disrespectful." I don't think it was even disrespectful. I think it was just dumb.
I think it was honestly just him being a dick.
Yeah.
So
when I first heard it, before I knew about the interview or any of that, I was irate.
Really?
Oh, dude. Because I felt.
But see, there
that
it is. That's in the moment bullshit.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
And that's why I said that, because in the moment,
Right.
without knowing the context and everything, I was just like, fuck that, dude. Here's another dude just running and just was
Right.
going off. And then I hear his side of it, and I'm like, okay, regardless of not believing his side of it at first, you learn in those moments that there are two sides. And regardless of what one side feels, and that's very real for him. If he
Right.
felt it was racist, then that sucks. That sucks. We live in a world where that shit goes on. I'm sorry that you have to deal with that. But on the flip side, he's got a story to tell for himself, too.
Right.
And as much as I'm not going to sit here and defend somebody who wears pinstripes, it's not racism.
But that's the thing. In this social media age, like, you'll hear something, like, just the one side of it, and then that's it.
Because you get no
Like,
context
that's the story.
anymore.
That's it.
Well,
Instead of actually hearing both sides.
right.
And then, like, oh, okay, now there's a backstory to this.
So don't take this as an insult, Frank, because I'm about to say you're different.
Oh, shit.
You're different than the rest of these people. But you're very much an emotional, reactionary person, right?
Extremely.
All three of us in this room know this. Anybody who knows you that's listening to this knows this.
Yeah.
I'm similar to that. I'm just not quite as emotion, like
Right.
instant reaction, emotionally reaction to it. We know you're just angry all the time, so that's just.
I think it's a fair assessment, yes.
But like when it comes down to it, like hearing,
I hear no arguments.
I hear no arguments from anybody in this house. We hear no argument. So for me to hear that you had that initial emotional reaction to it doesn't surprise me at all. And what I give you credit for in being that way, though, is you also will eventually, once you hear everything, you will go back on your initial reaction, and you won't just live and die with your initial reaction and say, no, that's the way I felt, that's the way I still feel, fuck that. You will actually change your opinion, which is human nature.
Right. And it's why so much on this show, like, if you pay attention, I try to pick out the correct words to say because I do respond very emotionally.
You might want to try harder at that because we've got some clips of you that say otherwise. But
Those clips need to go the same way our first episode did.
the way of the dodo. Just
The way of the dodo.
extinct.
I don't think that'll ever happen.
If anything, the two of you will not allow for it to happen. Even if they go away from any public domain, I have full faith Joe will keep a hard drive with them on.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
20, 30 years from now.
sometimes you just got to call
my
spade
dumb
a spade.
ass runs for some stupid office, and
I don't have a bell. Damn it.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to call a spade a spade. I'm just saying, you know.
But yeah, like I said, that's been bothering me.
use the phrase for 35 years. Find out one day what the fuck it means.
But
that's you just get to the point where it's kind of like, all right, so now say this had been like between like two white guys or two black guys. This isn't even a story. This
Nope.
isn't even a thing.
it doesn't even
At
come
all.
out. Nope, nothing gets said about this. And that's another thing that I kind of hate about all. And we kind of hit on it already. Is if there's race involved, the story will just
It'll
just
inevitably go to that.
It'll just take off, and it'll
It'll
hit
obligatory go to that.
right.
It's the clickbait world.
Yeah,
That's what I say. The social media world, that gets the hits, that gets the views, that gets the likes, the follows, the shares, all that bullshit.
and it gets the emotional reaction.
It does.
Not pointing fingers at you, but
No,
that's the world we live in.
Trust me,
That's-
I don't share that without sharing it with the full intent
Right.
of explaining, like, I did that.
Right, and that's what happens.
We all do it.
The only difference
Just
is
be a human being and realize there's another side.
and realize you can reverse on that a
Yeah.
little bit, and you can do a 180, or you can kind of come back from that, as opposed to just that initial reaction and just living and dying with that initial reaction and saying, nope, that's the way I felt, that's the way I feel, fuck this.
Now, I still don't like it. I still feel that there was a lot of hurt behind him making that comment,
Oh yeah,
but I will stop just shy of saying he was intentionally saying it to be flat out racist.
no, he was saying it to be a dick.
Yep.
And he chose the name because he literally referred to himself as that name
Yep.
in an interview.
And it's not the first
And-
time he's done it.
And he basically, again, Donaldson's an asshole. I think anybody that watches and follows baseball will tell you the guy's a fucking
I was going
douche.
to say it's never been a secret.
No, everyone will say that. But with that being said, sometimes there's not a backhanded, behind the scenes dig. It's just a dig. It's an outright dig. He was digging at him for saying he was Jackie Robinson. That's it. He was being an asshole. Period. You can be an asshole without being racist or without being sexist or without being another fucking word that you want to come up with
Ist.
to outrage people, right? Another ist word.
Yeah, right.
Like you can be just an asshole because believe me,
We are.
there's been plenty of times where I've just been an asshole. There was no ist behind it. I was just an asshole.
I do it all the time.
Same.
I mean, ask any of my friends. I will make comments like that all the time. I don't do it to be hurtful. I don't do it to be mean. I do it because I know the people I'm around and I know how to get a cheap joke out of people. That's it. That's not what he's trying to do. He's trying to be hurtful with it. That's why I won't say I support it, but I'm not going to call it what it's not.
I've said things in a joking way to be a dig towards somebody. Done it plenty of times. And again, usually it's something that has been referred with that person before, and it's some way I know to get underneath their skin, and I'm doing it on purpose to get underneath their skin. But
It's
I'm
also
not
called gamesmanship.
right. It is what it is. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it wrong. It is what it is. Sometimes you say things to get underneath people's skin. And if you don't like somebody, if you don't get along with that person, you're obviously going to do it a little more than you would with anybody else. But even you two, sometimes I say shit to you guys, same as you to me. We get under each other's skin. That shit happens. You do that.
But when we do it, and what we've been saying is when we do it, it's weird to say, but if you understand guys,
Right.
you will understand it. There's love behind us doing that with each other.
Right.
There is no love in the situation we're talking about.
No.
And that's why I say, like, I'm not defending him, but he said what he said. And I also, at this point, don't necessarily agree with the suspension.
I don't either.
It was a 1-game suspension. In the moment, it looks stupid and pointless to even do something. Like, to just do that something. But now, in the big picture, when I feel like most of the story is now out,
What was it?
you just suspended him for a game for throwing an insult at somebody.
So basically, if he yelled and called him an asshole, would he have gotten a game suspension?
Nope.
I was going to say,
So
if
if
there's
he-
a Venezuelan player out there and he looks at him and goes, okay, Mickey,
Right.
are we reacting the exact same way?
No.
Nope.
No.
Right.
Not at all. Yeah, I thought the suspension was fucking stupid.
No, I agree. And honestly, at this point, to I guess squash this beef, get these two fuckers in a room, figure it out, and be done with it. Like that's the only way. Because it's going to continue. It's going to just keep going.
From the sound of things, nobody wants that.
Well, that's fair, but but at this point, if you want it to stop, you're gonna have to fucking do it.
From the article, I was reading an ESPN article, and basically Anderson just said, like, I don't talk to him, he don't talk to me. That's the way we are. That's the way we've always been. That's the way we're going forward.
Okay.
Do your thing.
All right.
You do you, boo boo.
But that's sports. If you got a problem with somebody, either do something about it or do that.
Right.
Either take care of it
Right.
or move on.
You're a pitcher, dude. He bats at least 3 times a game. Fucking beam him in the head.
He's not a pitcher. He's a shortstop.
Anderson's a shortstop?
Yes.
I don't know shit about the White Sox. So
He's a shortstop. He's actually probably the
I
best.
thought he was a pitcher.
He's arguably the best shortstop in the American League.
Okay, well, it shows how much baseball I'm not watching right now.
I
I fucked that one up.
I was gonna let it go, but
For once, I appreciate you being the nice person.
Fair enough.
yeah.
I corrected him earlier, so yeah.
So we got from that feud to another one between Nick Saban and Jimbo Fisher. This one I love.
See, now this is the one where I wish they'd put him in the same
Oh,
room
this is
and let
this
him
is
go
great.
at it.
This one I love this because never have you heard a coach like another coach go after Saban the way Jimbo Fisher did. And I honestly, I'm not a fan of Jimbo Fisher. I'm not a fan of Nick Saban, but I love the fact that Jimbo Fisher just flat out just went scorched earth on Nick Saban. I love it. And he used to be one of his assistant coaches.
Yep.
That's even better.
Do we have the comments so we can tell them to the people? Do
yes.
we have those?
I was going to say,
Well,
I will allow Chris to find
it
those.
all started with Saban basically. No, he did say this. He said that A&M's current recruiting
Yeah.
class, he bought the entire class.
Yes.
With the NIL.
With the
deals.
NIL. Yeah.
And
which-
Saban bought every one of his for the last 20 years.
And that's basically what Jimbo said. He goes, well, yeah, it's kind of easy to be successful when you have certain advantages as well.
Yeah.
Like, trying to say, like, you didn't do this on the straight and narrow, bro. There's a lot of crooked to your shit that you did. But
You're paying everybody, and Ohio State's paying the Midwest. That's known. We've all known. It's the way sports work.
It's
We
just
get it.
it's just now every school can come out
Right.
and say they're paying their players because it's legal now, as opposed to the ones that did it underneath the table before and got caught, or just tried to hide it. And I say hide in like quotes because
Right.
everyone knew you were fucking paying your players.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean,
That's why you need to give Reggie his Heisman back at this point.
Oh, you do, and that's the thing. Like Nick Saban, if you're out here trying to say that like certain coach who like bought his entire. So what? Who cares? Even if he did, so what? Like you were doing this shit on the low. Don't you? There's no
weren't even
fucking
doing
way.
it on the low.
Yeah, I was gonna say what? Not even, what
How is it on the low if everybody knows?
Fair. I mean,
So-
especially being it's the SEC.
Right.
You absolutely were fucking.
And
doing
one
it.
of the things that bothers me about this, not bothers me, but like I look at it, I'm like, man, you're just Saban right now is like a petty child who got his toy taken away from him. Like,
But he did this.
But-
But he did this.
right? It's like, bro, it's legal now. They didn't do anything wrong. You're just salty that you're not the only one that can do this now. You're just being really fucking salty. Period.
I think it's great. I
mean,
absolutely love it.
I like salty Saban. I just enjoy seeing him be upset and salty over certain shit. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, you can't buy your championships outright right now because every other school can now pay their players, same as you used to,
And still do.
and still do. So
And
like,
here's the
it's
thing. It's only unfair to him
Right.
until he finds a new thing that he can expose in the whole
Right.
circle of recruiting.
it's unfair to him because everyone's on the same level playing field now. Okay.
It's weird.
All right.
Weird how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Now
Saban-
all of a sudden you're
Yeah.
they're pulling the shit. And then of course Saban comes out and he tried to give like a half-ass apology, like, oh, they were taking out. Stop it.
Shut up.
Like you meant every fucking word you said,
Right.
and you didn't expect any of these coaches because you consider yourself God to come out and go against you. And now being as you know, it's gonna become a level playing field, dude. Like your days of like owning college football are over, and you know that.
It actually, talking about this, gave me an idea for a segment. I think we need to start taking coaches' press conferences, speeches, talk, shit like this, and we need to start judging how much of it is bullshit.
Oh God, that's shit. That's like every press conference.
Like, what little bit of each press conference is serious, and do they genuinely mean, and how much of it's just bullshit?
It'd be a fun little
I mean, we got the whole summer, so I mean,
it'd be a fun little project to do. Fun little segment. I wouldn't mind doing that. I think there'd be a lot of us going, that's bullshit.
oh yeah,
That's
I
bullshit.
think 99% of it would be bullshit.
oh absolutely. I mean, there's been so many press conferences in every sport that I've watched, and it's like, well, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
bullshit.
Speaking of press, you've watched Sutters?
Which one? Last night or the other night?
Just in general.
Oh, I love his press conferences. They're great.
From the Calgary Flames head coach. Most
the-
incredible press conferences.
Oh, they're great.
It's like right before Game 7. Somebody asked him, how's his day going? He just goes, beautiful. Got baby geese over there. Didn't want to leave the house. So relaxed.
It's just like next question. It's great.
And I'm just like, this is literally
Okay.
2 hours before Game 7.
He's like, eh.
Everybody in that locker room's having a panic attack right now. And he's like, man, they were baby geese. It was nice.
I mean,
didn't wanna leave the
I
house.
feel like when you get to that point in your career, especially when you have 2 Stanley Cup rings as a head coach,
Well, and you come from that family.
and you come from that family, that it's kind of like, yeah, okay, it's just a hockey game, man. Literally, it's just a hockey game.
So speaking of hockey,
Yes.
what do you make out of the reports of the Florida Panthers? And we'll say a number of the team going to a strip club the night before their elimination game.
Well, considering how they played last night, they actually played pretty fucking well.
yeah.
I mean, if you can get away with it, sure, why not, man?
I think they
But I
went
mean,
out and they
you're-
got loose.
You're down 3-0.
Yeah, you're not winning that series. You're not beating Tampa 4 games.
yeah.
I didn't have them winning it either way. I had Tampa win that series in 5.
I did too, actually.
So, do you call? Do you call it? Is it just like you said, taking the team out, getting loose?
I think that's it. I think
Is it
exactly what
is
it
it
is.
inappropriate? I mean, is it should that even be done?
We
Like,
all
as
grew
a-
up around it. You know, sometimes you just play too uptight. You got to get guys out there. You've got to let them loosen up.
And honestly, they played a pretty good game last night. They did. They played well. They played well enough to beat Tampa last night.
Yeah, they did.
It also gave them the excuse to put guys like Thornton back into the lineup. Okay, we can change some things up, do some, make some game time decisions rather than having everything set. Because when you're the President's Trophy winning team, there's a lot of pressure behind that. I mean, you see the
Yeah.
stats on how often they don't end up succeeding in the playoffs.
It's been, 2013 since the last President's Trophy winners won the Stanley Cup?
Been a while.
It's been a minute.
So, like, yeah, on paper, is it funny? Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. They went to a strip club the night after or night before a game. Just is. But you're in your home state. You're 2 hours from home, 3 hours from however far Miami is. Yeah, have fun.
I honestly, I didn't see a problem with it. I really didn't. But you want to go coaches' press conferences? Bullshit. Florida's coach. No, this didn't happen. Well, dude, there's pictures and there's proof that.
I mean,
it happened.
It did.
Yeah.
Happen. So
It absolutely happened.
That,
And honestly, if I was a coach right there, just own it. Be like, you know what? We're down 3-0. The boys wanted to loosen up a little bit, and
what we've been doing hasn't been working, so I let them go
Shit,
out. I said,
why not?
have a good time. Worst
See-
that happens, we get swept, which is what's going to fucking happen anyway.
See, and that's where I don't. If it's different, so every scenario is different, right?
Yeah.
So you look at it, and not everything is
Nope.
in it. To go back to our last
Not black
phrase,
and white.
not everything is black and white,
Right.
And to cut you off, if this is before Game 7, my reaction's entirely different.
oh, if it's before Game 7, then yeah, but there's where the different scenario happens.
Right.
That's where I don't have a problem with it. Is you were down 3-0, you were playing tight, and your team needed to loosen up a little bit.
And you're young.
They went out to a strip club, and we don't even know if they were there all fucking night. We don't know how long they were there. Like, we don't know if they closed the joint down. We don't know if they were.
they were
Like,
there.
but still,
Yeah,
but I mean,
it
like,
sounded like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
It was like Varsity Blues and they walk out of
Yeah.
the strip club.
well, I mean, but even a tan. But even if that's the case, in this scenario, you're down 3-0. You're needing to change something up. You know what I mean? Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to go out and get swept, like you said, Frank. Like they already were probably gonna.
Yeah.
So I don't see a problem with it in this scenario.
And if you win, you go
now,
to Game 5.
Now, if it's before Game 7,
Oh yeah, then I have an issue with it. 100%.
I have a huge problem. with
If it's
that at that
before
point.
Game 7, every single person who's at that thing is cut or fucking suspended
Right.
for
Like,
the
there's-
next season.
there's levels
Yeah,
to
oh,
this
yeah.
shit, right? I mean, and for all the people that are like pissed off and losing their minds about it, is like, look at the scenario it was in. If it's before Game 7, yeah, I agree with you. Lose your fucking mind about it. Be pissed off. They shouldn't have done it. That's fucking bullshit. But in between Game 3 and Game 4, when you're already down 3-0, the fuck does it hurt?
It's why I always bring up the Boston 04 series to New York, because the improbability of coming back from 3-0 is so fucking huge. That in that situation, like, yeah, I would love to be the guy to sit here and be like, they had a chance and they were the better team, all those things. But Tampa won back-to-back Stanley Cups, and they're a fucking powerhouse. You
Yeah,
weren't
they're-
winning. That's it.
The odds of you coming back and winning 4 straight against Tampa and the best goaltender in the world.
Letting-
Who's playing like the best goaltender in the world?
1 goal on 200 shots in series clinching games.
That dude, man. Oh my god, it's honestly some of the best goaltending I've ever seen.
And then they have one of the most
I think he's-
underrated leadership teams in sports.
Well,
in
so
my
and
opinion.
I think I saw the stat. He in the last 7 deciding games, he's had 6 shutouts.
Yeah,
Like that.
That's why I said
That's
200
fucking-
shots, 1 goal's gone in.
Fucking
he's
insane.
definitely entering that Waugh, Brodeur,
Oh,
Hasek,
yeah.
Sawchuk,
Yep.
that conversation. Especially if
much.
they win another one this year, he's in that conversation.
And he was a Stevie guy.
Yeah.
Stevie
Yeah.
straight up handpicked him. That's why I look at the Ned situation with the Red Wings and I go, well, maybe there's something there that I don't see.
Well, that apparently that was it. Kosa, what's his name? The
kid in the WHL
yeah,
right now,
the
he's
kid they
fucking
drafted.
tearing it up.
Yeah, he's lighting it on fire down there.
They're
so,
saying 2-3 years he could really be a number 1 option for Detroit.
yeah.
Was Sergei Fedorov coaching him?
Coach of the year in the K.
I don't put much stock into that, to be honest with you. Which team he's coaching? Dynamo.
I think so.
Yeah, that's why.
because I think he's part owner
Yeah, there you go. I don't put much stock into that.
or something. He's got something to do with them.
Yeah, that's like when the Red Wings were the Red Wings, they could just buy everybody. I'm sorry, I don't put much stock into that.
Which I'm going to do on here. I know we texted about it, but I'm going to give Kenny Holland his props. Everybody shit on him for that Evander Kane signing. I'm not saying you're a fucking genius, but you made a right call.
Yeah.
I feel like if you just put anybody with speed with Connor McDavid, you're gonna be fine.
I'm pretty convinced I could play with Connor McDavid, and I'd probably be fine.
So I'm not gonna give him
speed's the one thing I don't have.
I'm not gonna give him the props that you are going to give him. But, I mean, it ended up being a solid signing. I can't disagree with it. It did.
I feel like if I'm going to shit on you all the time for the wrong shit you do,
Yeah.
even when you do one thing right, I'm going to give you the credit.
That's the thing
you
with
deserve.
Evander Kane, though. Like, nobody really ever accused him of being a bad hockey player.
No.
It's just all the other
Just a bad gambler.
A questionable person.
Yeah, a very questionable,
Questionable person,
yes.
bad gambler. Mm-hmm. But that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Horrible
again,
husband from the sound of things.
Yes. Kind of a piece of shit human being. Yes.
Yeah.
You know who's not a piece of shit human being?
Jason Stiltner. If you're a homeowner or looking to be a first-time home buyer, give Jason Stiltner, Senior Loan Officer at Flagstar Bank, a call today at 248-752-3631. Jason has great mortgage programs for first-time home buyers, including down payment assistance options and excellent interest rates. Again, give my guy Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank a call today at 248-752-3631 and get the excellent service you deserve. Flagstar Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 27546.
There you go. When we were picking on Chris, lady friend did text and say hashtag facts.
Hashtag facts.
I just went to the email and it popped up and I was like, "Oh, we had an email.
Oh, and she
we had a text."
I don't know if I want to. I'm going to read this though. She typed it. I'm going to read it. Hashtag perpetually pissed off Chris. Hey, I didn't sell you out. You typed it. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry. That's.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't send that stuff to the person sitting right next to him.
Bing bong.
Hashtag perpetually pissed off Chris.
Facts.
Hashtag facts.
Does she even know what the word perpetually means?
She typed it. I think she spelled it right too.
Did she Google it? How to spell it?
I don't actually know if that's spelled right. Hold on. Let me check. Did you
doing spell check live on air?
Hey, lady, did you spell that correctly? Did you Google it? Yeah, I think she did spell right. Actually,
good for you.
Yeah. Who's a good speller? Who's a good speller? You are.
Good Lord.
You are.
Oh, that's funny.
Hey, lady.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Just talking like
motherfucker.
So, keeping kind of with the theme of the playoffs right now, I think the Stanley Cup playoffs have actually been pretty good, except besides the officiating, which I think has been absolutely horrendous.
What?
But you look at the other side of it. You look at the
no argument.
you look at the NBA side of it, and good Lord, what a fucking dumpster fire that is! Like every game, blowout city. It's just it's like.
Am I the only one that just? I can't be the only one that just does not like the NBA anymore.
No, I'm right there with you.
And I used to enjoy,
especially playoff basketball.
Yeah,
like it was intense.
Yeah,
like
I'm still enjoying it right now, except for the blowouts.
Well, even as recently as when the Pistons were good, like I'm not talking about just back with Michael Jordan and the Bad Boys. Like I'm talking more recently.
Yeah,
I have enjoyed playoff basketball. I've watched about 10 minutes of playoff basketball this year. 10 minutes. Now, some of that has to go with the fact that I don't watch as much sports as I used to. Like I'm just not as saturated with it.
Right.
Because I do watch other things more than I used to. But still, like I 10 minutes of playoff basketball and I have no desire to watch any more of it. I just don't.
Because you can see a matchup and like literally all you gotta do is look at your phone and you see like the end of the first quarter, team's up like 32-11. I don't want to watch that.
I forgot Boston was even on yesterday. By the time I even thought about it, they were up for it by 20.
Exactly.
I was like, don't.
But
have
you
to
know
worry
how
about
like
turning
every
that on.
game is gonna. You know how like every game is gonna play out.
Yep.
Like it's like well, if X team is at home, they're probably gonna blow this team out.
Speaking of playoffs, you know what I did watch this weekend though?
What's that?
And it was fucking awesome. It's one of the first times I've actually sat down and watched it. I watched that golf match this weekend. The ending of that golf match was so fucking good.
It's funny you bring it up, the PGA Championship.
Yeah.
I watched the.
I didn't even know what it was.
I watched the playoff. That's all I watched was the playoff.
I watched the two holes right before that with whatever the guy who started with the Z was, and then Cameron Young.
Zalatoris.
Yeah,
Zalatoris.
I was watching the two of them go.
Yeah.
Like I was watching on Sunday, and I'm like, God, this is a really boring golf tournament. It was boring as hell
Until
and
it stopped.
Exactly. And I turned it off. I started watching something else. And then I was like, all right, it should be coming down to the end here. Last few holes, whatever. I'm like, I'll turn it back on. And that's when I was like, holy shit. And once that dude, the head of the league, got to 18, and he brought out
choke of the fucking century.
It's not the choke of the century, but it's up there.
Again, emotional reaction.
Yes. But
this is who Frank is.
Yes.
As soon as he brought out driver on
In
18,
that moment, it was huge.
yeah. As soon as he brought out driver on 18, I'm like, you're an idiot.
Yep.
I'm like, dude, just hit something safe. Hit when you're
You're overthinking it. You're
and
trying
then he was
too hard.
trying to putt off the green.
Oh my! And see, I think that was, yeah.
I didn't hate it as much by the way it went, but in the moment, I went, I don't know, I'd be doing that.
But if he chips it, it's probably going to run square.
It
up
probably
there.
goes
Yeah.
way
So I don't disagree with his putting it from where he was, but I still think Phil Mickelson's choke at the U.S. Open was
Oh yes,
a bigger choke than that. Because that was just like, holy shit.
the fact I can agree with that statement proves that it is bigger. Because, like I said, this is one of the first golf matches I've
Or
actually
Jean
watched.
Vanderbilt.
Well,
in the
Frank,
British
you
Open.
already said this last one was the biggest choke of the century, so you can't.
It's
you can't,
definitely the biggest one I've ever seen.
You can't realize.
Only one I've ever
You can't
seen,
change
but
your mind, Frank. You said it.
biggest
You
one
said
I've
it's the
ever
seen.
the biggest choke of the century. You said it. Okay.
And it was McMackleton simply because of who it was.
Checks out.
But like I said, as soon as he brought out driver, I'm just like, oh, you're fucked. Like, dude, you don't need to do that. You could hit an iron.
Fucking put it.
All
in
you
the
had to do-
water. Then
All you had to do was par the hole, man. That's it. That's all you had to do. You just had to par it, and you would have won. But I was like, as soon as he did that, I'm like, oh shit, this is not. And then you saw the swing. It was just like, oh boy.
even if he goes a 1, he goes to the playoff.
Right, exactly. But I mean, props to Justin Thomas though. He was 6 shots back.
Right.
And that's just outstanding.
And again,
And I'm not a big Justin Thomas guy because I think he's kind of a dude. Like we talked about Josh Donaldson, I think Justin Thomas is kind of the same way. I think that's just what the PGA Tour is now. It's just a bunch of fucking douchebags. Like honestly,
There's quite a few of them out there.
like DuChambeau, fucking
Douchebo.
Koepka.
Yeah, Kepka's kind of a douche.
Who the hell am I thinking of?
Dustin Johnson's kind of a douche.
I don't mind Dustin Johnson.
I don't mind him because he's Gretzky's son-in-law,
I don't even-
but he's kind of a fucking douche.
Honestly, I liked him actually before those two started.
That's all I knew about
Those started dating. Oh, he was a. There's some stories about Dustin Johnson that you'll find interesting. We'll talk about it after the show. But-
Oh, we can talk about it on the show.
oh, dude, he was.
I'll tell you when you're older.
Yeah, he was big time into like Amber Heard's type stuff. Oh, big time.
Oh, I thought we were talking about pooping in the bed.
Oh,
No.
he was really into Amber Heard's pooper. What?
But yeah, he was.
Anybody who's listening right now,
It's either a really bad Uncle Jesse impression or something's wrong. I don't know what they're doing.
So if they've seen the videos, they know exactly what we're doing. If they haven't, they're like, "What the fuck are they doing?"
Just look up
right?
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, it's oh.
At some point, we're getting the stupid look. Some point, real shortly, we're getting the stupid look.
He already gave me the stupid look.
Oh, I haven't gotten it yet.
And then cracked a smile and laughed at it. He did give me the stupid look when he first looked over here, though.
Even when I said it was, what did I call it? The fucking choke of the century. I didn't even get the stupid look.
Yeah,
That's true. He didn't.
that's I love that. He just gives me that side eye. He's like, "No, that's true. He didn't."
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was before he got himself cleaned up, whatever. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He actually took some time away from the tour.
He was really into the booger sugar, huh?
Oh yeah, 100%. But yeah, like him, I like even before he hooked up with Gretzky's daughter, I liked him. But like Jordan Spieth, I can't stand. Like, just the majority of the players on tour, I'm just like, like I don't like you,
Yeah.
and I'm not quite sure why, but it's just
No, there's quite a few of them on the tour
Yeah.
right now that are like that. There is. I don't know why.
I don't either. It's just maybe because I grew up watching like Tiger and guys like that.
Yeah.
and it was just like okay.
But Tiger's the biggest douche out of all of them at this point. Like, listen to, look at all the shit that's come out about that guy. He kind of is the most douchey out of all of them at this point.
He's up there.
Fair.
He's up there.
Yeah, but for all his douchiness,
He's just really
I
fucking
mean,
good.
in our lifetime, have we seen a golfer like that?
No.
No. Like we
But
never seen a
just
guy
beca-
dominate like
Just
Tiger
because
Woods.
you're good at something doesn't mean
I don't
you're
disagree
not a
with you on
douche,
that.
But yeah,
If we're
no, I
going to
agree.
talk golf and we're going to talk dominance, I'm bringing up one name from this weekend, one name only, and that is John Daly.
Oh yeah, that
That
guy.
man dominated this weekend.
That guy. That dude.
21 cigarettes, a 12-pack of Diet Coke, and 6 packs of peanut M&Ms.
Attaboy.
I like it. That's my kind of golfing.
That's how you're an athlete.
I mean, I don't. I don't smoke, but that's still my kind of golfing. So
I was joking with my brother. I go, yeah, my Pizza Boy days, I called that Wednesday after work.
yeah,
12-pack Coke, full-pack cigarette. Yep, that was it called after work.
yep.
But yeah, like you said, Frank, that actually ended up turning out to be like a really good golf tournament. Toward the end of
It was like the last 5-6 holes, really
Yeah.
the last hour of the whole
Yeah, pretty much.
television thing was
Truthfully,
just excellent.
when I turned it on, they had just started the playoff,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw on my news feed, which I was on Facebook. I'm not on there a whole lot anymore. I just pulled it up, was looking at it, and I was like, "They're going into the playoff." Okay,
Right.
I turned it on. I was like, "Now this is some golf I can get into. I like watching a playoff."
I actually
A
like
guy who was at like 8 on the leaderboard and a guy who wasn't even on it at the start of the day.
Right.
Are in the playoffs.
See, I like the way they went about it though. They did a
Three
three-hole
holes.
aggregate. I
Yep.
did. I like that.
I
was
agree
like,
with
I
that.
can dig this.
The
Fuck
easiest
the-
hole, the hardest hole, and something in the middle.
Like fuck the 1 hole playoffs. I hate that. I'm with you. Like the 3-hole aggregate playoff.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Because that gives, I think, that gives the two or how many ever players are in the playoff like
Right.
like a legit fighting chance.
right.
It's like okay.
It's not just a 1 hole. Whoever gets luckier with a shot. Or
Right.
whatever. Like luck can play a part in 1 hole. You play 3 holes. Probably the guy who's hitting best right now, the guy who's playing
yeah.
better golf right now is going to win the 3 holes.
Right.
Like you can get lucky and win a hole. More than likely, the better guy that's playing at that point in time is going to win 3 holes.
Yeah, because it's silly. It's like match play. And
Yeah.
I'm like I can dig this. I like it. So I honestly I wish more majors would go to that. I don't know if they will or not, but I think it'd be
I liked it. I thought it was a good idea.
yeah for sure. So ended up being a solid
Sports on
tournament.
tap.
Whoops.
Sorry. That's called an accidental finger click of the button over
Right.
here.
But yeah, so like I said, I was happy. I tried to watch as much of it as I could, and it, like I said, Sunday was just like, this is like it just was boring.
I
So
think I turned it on 16 or 17, and I was just like,
Yeah.
I'm here. I don't know why I can't turn
and
this
kind
off.
of
but
like you,
can't.
I saw like on social that Justin Thomas was like charging. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, I'll check it out, And sure, obviously it led to the playoff, and that was pretty cool. So
Yeah,
great match.
I had just gotten home and sat down. I worked on Sunday, and I had just gotten home. I ran some errands after work, sat down, literally turned the TV on, and then got on social real quick just to sit there and wait for the TV to turn on. And I saw that
A
they
time
were,
killer.
Right, I saw
What
they were
social
going
media is
literally,
anymore.
literally. That's and I saw they were going to the playoff. I was like, well, I know what this TV's going to right now. That's it. But that's I don't watch golf a lot.
see, I
But-
do I'm a big golf watcher. I am.
I'm just not. I used to watch more golf than I do,
Mm-hmm.
but again, maybe that goes back to I just used to watch more sports than I do now. But now that I was totally, as soon as I saw they were in a playoff, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm turning this on. I want to
Mm-hmm.
see this. That got my interest instantly. I was like, I want to see this playoff. I want to see who wins. I like playoff hockey, playoff
Oh, yeah.
golf. Like I want to see this.
Right,
This is-
but it's like the one.
this is battling.
Right, but the one thing about golf, and this goes back to like our grind my gears stuff that we did a while back, is these assholes who always yell out "get in the hole" when he's hitting a freaking it's like a par 5.
You know what really grinds my
Yeah,
gears?
like your dude's teeing off on a par 5, and this asshole yells out "get in the hole"
Get in the hole.
or "Baba Booey" or some
oh.
stupid shit like that. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up.
the guy
Bing
that
bong.
nosebleeds on the power play.
Shoot, yeah, exactly. Skate. Okay, you're doing the team
Like
a-
the shoot one doesn't irritate me as much as the skate one does because
They're literally skating.
They literally have no choice. They're on skates. Like they don't have a choice. They're not going to run on skates on ice.
Jog!
We're like,
No, if you wanted to, if you wanted to yell, run. Then instantly you'd have my attention. I'd be like, this motherfucker. I like this guy. He's yelling run to these motherfuckers out here.
Or like in basketball or football when the crowd starts saying like defense.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what the fuck do you? Well, in the NBA not so much anymore, but
Yeah.
like you see where I'm going.
Yeah. If
with
anybody
that.
chanted defense in the NBA now, you'd have most of the people that are in there going, what?
Or the people that bring
what is this defense you speak of?
right, or like people in the crowd that bring like a cutout of a D and then
Yeah.
like a cutout of a
fence.
fence. It's like, all right, man.
I want to go to a game this year, and I want to get them to start a kicker chant just for the two of you.
Fucking fuck kickers.
Let's go kickers.
But speaking of like football, we were talking about this before the show, like Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's crazy. Obviously, you got the Thanksgiving games on Thursday, which I'm going to the Bills-Lions game, so I'm actually looking forward to that.
You already got tickets?
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
And then Friday you have USA England World Cup. Saturday you have Michigan Ohio State, and then Sunday you have Rams Chiefs. I'm like, dude,
And that's just on one network.
and that's just on Fox.
That's just one network.
And there's Monday Night Football the next night.
It's
I don't
gonna-
even know who it's going to be, but there's Monday Night Football, so it doesn't really fucking matter.
Listen,
Yeah, because that's the Sunday night game is Rams Chiefs with some like
we all know I'm all about some NFL football.
yes.
So
That's gonna be a good fucking weekend.
yeah,
It's gonna be a fun weekend, I should say. So, and obviously we'll be doing our game day show on that Sunday, so that'll
Yep.
be cool.
we'll be doing game day.
Yep.
We're gonna try and do it every week. I'm sure there's going to be a couple where we can't. Do
Oh
it
yeah, for sure.
with the holidays or whatever. But,
Obviously,
yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that again this year.
no doubt.
Shanahan's still saying they're going to trade Jimmy G. At this point, I don't know to who, but
Oh, Jimmy G.
Jimmy G.
Jimmy G.
Yeah, I went onto the NFL
Yeah,
website.
and Baker Mayfield's still going to be traded too.
I saw that. Seattle and Carolina. Still.
Right here.
Been Seattle
Like
or Carolina the whole fucking time.
They're in a holding pattern, whatever that means.
What kills me is and I'm about to bag on Cleveland right now, and
You've been very kind to them the last little while.
I mean, but I still call it how it is, even though I'm a fan of the team. They went about this whole thing
Oh yeah.
the wrong fucking way, dude.
Oh, absolutely.
Listen,
they did. But now they kind of have to hang on to him
What-
because you see what's coming down the pipeline for Deshaun.
well, everyone knew that was going to happen.
From what I was reading, and I don't know how true this is, but it's from a relatively reliable source. It's going to be suspension like Trevor Bauer got.
I tell you what, it's going to be between 8 games and a full season.
I think it'll be at least the full season. At least.
I don't, because I think they're going to. The NFL is notorious for taking things into consideration.
Agreed.
And they're going to take into consideration he sat all last year,
but this
which
is what I read.
doesn't mean anything
Right.
because he sat on his own. But
But this is why I say it'll be at least a year is because of what the MLB did to Trevor Bauer, and so the NFL. And I know we always say about the NFL is they don't give a shit, but in seeing what the MLB did to Trevor Bauer, the NFL doesn't want to get like upstaged by this. So I think it'll be at least a year.
so I disagree.
That's all.
But I'm looking forward to seeing this. And if it's a year, part of me can say I told you so to a lot of Cleveland fans.
Oh, absolutely.
Which everyone.
If these idiots didn't think he was going to be suspended for at least a certain amount of time,
You know what they were saying? They were saying the Cleveland faithful,
Yeah.
Cleveland fans are saying, "Oh, well, nothing was proven in court, so they're not going to suspend him." I'm like,
Yeah, but now he's got a bunch of civil fucking suits against him.
Have you not paid attention to things?
I was gonna say,
Like, do you
look
not-
at the statistics on that shit going to court.
I'm not saying he's going to end up being suspended for fucking ever, but he's
Right.
going to be suspended for some time, and it's not going to be 2 games, guys. Sorry, it's not going to be it.
And we've talked about it a lot of times. Like, I fully agree with the legal system argument. Like, don't get me wrong. I think we even talked about this a couple weeks ago on here when it came to the Trevor Bauer stuff. But at the end of the day, like, look at those situations. Look at the stats on them when they go to trial. And look how much is needed to actually get a conviction. Like, basically what I'm seeing is 1 year they go, yeah, there was something there. We just don't know what. Anything longer than 1 year, he's lucky he didn't end up going to trial.
Right.
And now with all these civil suits, And that's what, like, yeah, OJ beat his murder rap,
Yeah.
his trial.
Yeah.
But you know what got him? This fucking civil
The
suit.
civil suit.
Yep.
That's what fucked him.
Yep.
That's where the money comes in.
Well, and so for this, like if I'm looking at this scenario, and this is where Cleveland fucked up, right? So this whole scenario was they were looking to possibly move on for Baker because they weren't sold on him being the guy, right? Mm-hmm. Which that's
News to nobody.
That's news to nobody, right? So then they give him the extension of the 1 year, pay him almost $19 million.
Which made no sense.
Then they go out and they bash him openly and say he's childish or they need a more adult at quarterback, whatever it was that was said, right?
It sounds so lion-esque.
Right?
It's amazing.
So you gave him
the
nine.
exact thoughts I had the entire time that situation was playing out.
So you give him $19 million guaranteed for 1 year, and then you go out and bash him to everybody when you're going to try to trade him because you're pursuing Deshaun Watson. Then you don't get Deshaun Watson, and you try and backpedal a little bit. Then all of a sudden, Baker Mayfield says goodbye, basically, because you pursued Deshaun Watson. Then you go, fuck. Get Deshaun back on the phone. We're going to
give him the dumbest fucking contract in NFL history.
We're going to get yes. We're going to guarantee him.
You $10 million for every woman who's accused you of something.
We're going to give you $230 million guaranteed, no matter what. And the year that you're going to be suspended, we're only going to give you $1 million on the books because if you're suspended, that way you won't lose that much money. We're going to basically bend over and take it in the asshole from you, and just give you everything you want because we screwed up with Baker at this point because we're still paying him almost $19 million, but we bashed him in public. Now we can't trade him. Now he doesn't want to come back and play for us. Like the whole scenario is just fucking stupid. I'm like, who handles this situation like this other than somebody from the Cleveland Browns or the Detroit Lions? Like that's
My only argument with the Detroit thing, though, is Detroit wouldn't have traded him. Detroit would have just made him sit here or retire.
Well, so far we're not sure Cleveland's going to trade him because they haven't really tried.
They're at least entertaining the idea, supposedly.
Yeah, but they want somebody to take on that $19 million. That's not going to fucking happen, guys.
Detroit wouldn't trade any of their players in those situations.
Like
Calvin, Barry.
At this point in time, Cleveland, they need to just resign themselves to the facts that you have to give, like you're going to have to pay the $19 million or at least like 18 of it. Trade him away, get something for him, because that dude is not playing for you. It's not happening. Like he'll sit on the bench the whole year and collect that $19 million, bro. And you as an organization, whether he handled it properly or not, which he didn't in a lot of ways, the organization handled it poorly. And at this point in time, what the fuck are you doing? Get something, anything. And the thing with Jimmy G is another thing. So Baker's coming off an injury. Right? So you're already going to have a hard time trading the guy. You went out and bashed him publicly, and now you're trying to trade him and have the team that trades for him take the entire $19 million? That ain't going to happen. Same as Jimmy G ain't getting traded anywhere. He's coming off an injury. You're going to have to do, if you're a team that wants to trade these guys, you're going to have to give in a little bit. And it seems like neither one of those organizations wants to give in a little bit.
They don't want to give at all.
Then in that case, you ain't getting nothing for your guy. They're just going to sit on your bench. It's happening.
Especially where everybody's at right now. If Seattle's truly in favor of going forward with Locke, then Seattle's got their answer. Carolina drafted a quarterback, didn't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
Carolina's
think they drafted Corral, didn't they?
I thought it was.
Yeah.
So both of those teams have quarterbacks. Not that they're.
I don't think they're sold on Drew Lock.
I don't think they
They're
should
not.
be if they
They're
are.
Not. They're not.
But regardless, both of them have quarterbacks to go forward with that.
I think
the
they're
coaches claim they're okay with going.
I think they're
forward
playing
with.
chicken
Right.
with saying they're okay with Drew Lock. And I think they're okay with going with Drew Lock this year if they have to because they're okay with just losing. They're not okay with Drew Lock being their guy for the future. That's not it.
I
And
just
if
don't
they're saying that, they're bluffing.
I just don't see Jimmy being an option for that. Jimmy sure is an option in Carolina. I don't think Seattle's an option for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, of course. They're not going to trade him within the division.
Right, and that's exactly why.
Not to mention, I don't think he'd be the guy for Seattle. Seattle's not at the point where they need a guy like Jimmy G. Like Jimmy G can possibly help a good team win now, possibly. You're not gonna trade for Jimmy G if you're an organization that's rebuilding and you're looking to win in a couple of years. Like you're looking to get your future quarterback. That's not Jimmy G. That's not a team that needs to trade for him.
Right.
You know, who's a team you should trade for?
That's a really good one.
I think so.
Whether you're buying or selling your home, now is the time to take advantage of the expertise of 4 real estate agents for the price of 1 on your side. Make the right move with the right group, the Joe Wright Group. Give Craig Joe Wright, Mike Bush, Shane Wilson, and Alex DeRocher a call today. The phone number is 248-535-4750 to fulfill all your real estate needs.
Solid.
There you go. Thank you.
I love that.
There you go.
When it comes to Seattle, though, and you were talking about Drew Lock and their quarterback situation, what do you think? Week 6, Geno takes over?
No, Geno.
Before then?
I remember when he came in last year, I'm like, this dude's still in the league?
Right.
For real?
And they re-signed him.
He came in. Yeah, they did. He came in for an injured Russell Wilson
Yeah.
last year,
Yeah.
and I was the same way.
I had no idea he was still in the league.
That's their backup quarterback.
And if you're going forward with Drew Lock, Geno Smith's taking over at some point.
I'll be honest with you. I still put Baker in Seattle before the season
I believe
starts.
it'll happen, but I'm saying if it stays as is,
If it stays as is, both those guys will see some time this year. Because Drew Lock is what we've seen. I mean,
I think Drew Lock will get ran out of there if he's the starter.
Unless he turns something around drastically, Drew Lock is who we've seen, right?
It also doesn't help, though, that he really had nothing in fucking Denver.
So he had some offensive weapons.
Some, but
overall, he had enough that he could have shown something that he didn't show yet.
he had enough where he should have been better than he was.
Right.
I'll give you that.
And this is where we go back to that quarterback argument that we or debate. I don't even want to say it was an argument. It was more of a debate than anything. It's
It's an argument. It's a fucking argument.
With you two, it's definitely an argument.
But it's like
I don't even know what he's getting at, but
in today's
Baker conversation.
NFL, it's really hard to be a bad quarterback. It is. I'm sorry, it is.
yeah,
Just
see,
with how the rules are called, and how like it's a passing league,
it is.
and this is why to me it's hard. It's hard to be a bad quarterback.
To me, it's not. So to me, I look at that and I agree with one aspect of it. It's the stats these days. You can't necessarily compare it to years past because
can't.
the yards are going to be more. You're going to have more attempts, more completions.
different game.
Like it is different. It's developed to a
Right.
different level than it was. I still think you're gonna still get the greats, the goods, the okays, and the like. You still have those levels.
No, I don't
But
disagree with
but
that.
there's
But it's hard to like have a quarterback come in this league and be like an Andre Ware. Like he was horrendous. He was.
I mean,
but it's hard to do that now.
It's really not because you see it all the time still.
I don't think you do. I just think it's a quicker trigger to get him out of there.
Well, it has become that as well.
And we've talked about that as well. You don't
Yeah.
give these guys time to develop.
Like you never give them time to develop, and part of that is because of what you're talking about, right? So it's a different game. You're expected to come in
Right.
and just automatically light the world on fire. And I don't necessarily. There's still enough defense in the NFL. The defensive players are still good enough that even
Right.
with the rules being for the offense,
Right.
you still have good enough defensive players in the NFL that the game drastically changes from college to the NFL.
Oh, yeah, 'cause every dude is fast.
Right.
Every one of them.
It's still a huge difference to where you still need to be able to grow a little bit
Right.
and develop a little bit. And I think that's what's being taken, and we've discussed this before. It's taken away from some of the players because you don't let them grow and develop. You get a 3-year window and you go, he sucks. It's not necessarily that way. Now, can it be? Yeah, but they just don't get the time
Right.
to turn into that quarterback. I mean, if you were to look at Peyton Manning,
he was terrible
his first few years,
Same thing with Troy Aikman. He was
right?
terrible.
And Troy Aikman,
I think he's one of the most I think he's one of the most overrated quarterbacks.
Troy
in history.
Aikman, I agree with that. But Peyton Manning, his first couple years, if Peyton Manning were to come into the league right now and have the first couple years that he had,
Yeah.
he would end up getting yanked. But they let him develop. They let him grow.
Right.
And the game then was still progressing offensively to
It
where
was, but not to where it is now.
Well, obviously
Not
not
even
because
close
it's
to where it is
progressed
now.
even
Yeah,
further.
oh, yeah.
But they were starting to implement things at that point in
Right.
time that made it more offensive.
Right.
I mean,
But then you could when he started out, you could actually hit quarterbacks, and now you can't.
yeah.
And
Well,
The
you
way
can't
defense
breathe
played
on a
the game
quarterback
back
now,
when
but-
Peyton started was
It's completely different.
It was still in the ugly days where you
Like,
could
yeah.
get away with a lot of
Like
shit.
you could have a receiver go over the middle and lay his ass out. Now
yeah.
you can't do that, which to me is absolutely ridiculous that you can't do that. Like the head-to-head stuff, fine, I get it. But if a defender goes low and it goes like shoulder to chest,
The one that this is a weird one though. The one that bothers me is so if I'm going to tackle you and I'm running full speed, like the NFL, you can't go half speed. You're going full speed all the time. If I'm running to hit you,
yeah,
and I go to swat the ball, like if you're throwing, and my hand even brushes against your helmet, well, that's illegal contact to the head.
Yep.
That's a penalty.
yep.
Wait, time out.
for the same
This
reasons.
is football, right?
It's the same thing as we talked about at the beginning of the show, just in a different form. It's that immediate reaction. Oh my God, he touched his head. And then you go back later on and go, well, that probably wasn't a penalty.
I mean, we've seen so many like this past season. We saw so many just horrendous
Roughing
roughing
the
the passer calls.
It's the worst penalty call in the
yeah.
NFL today.
And you want to talk about when Peyton was starting out? Back in that day, if you were going to blindside hit a quarterback, you were driving them fucking crown of the head first into the ground.
And that was a lot of those teams were playing on AstroTurf, which
Yeah.
you're basically driving them into freaking concrete.
With concrete underneath them.
So it's just
Like,
like
they were
all right,
trying
man.
to paralyze them.
But now it's just like if you even hit a quarterback remotely hard, they're throwing a flag for it, which is, and that's why this is another reason why I think these quarterbacks should be. This is why I say it's hard for them to be bad because they know they can't get touched, they know they can't get hit.
I would still argue Jameis sucks.
Fair enough, but
Yeah.
I mean,
He's so bad Drew Brees wants to come out of retirement.
yes, I saw that as well.
Yeah, that's-
Drew Brees, just stay retired, dude. You have a noodle arm, bro.
Okay,
just stay retired.
No, he had a noodle arm. He'd be lucky if he still has a noodle arm.
So I have to ask this: Do either one of you actually believe he meant he was going to come out of
No,
retirement?
not a chance.
Okay, thank you.
No,
I just had to get that out of you guys.
not even a little bit. No.
That was a total comment made in jest.
Oh, absolutely, it was.
Or
If
I'm sorry,
Sean
a
Payton
post.
is there, then I think there's a chance.
Not even if Sean Payton's there. No, not a
If
chance.
Payton's there, I think there's a better chance of it being real, but I still don't buy
Like
it.
that tweet was
great.
It was made completely to just. It was in jest, and
Yeah.
he was making a joke, and then fucking the world went.
Yeah, or he's coming. He might be coming back.
Oh, he's gonna come back, and I'm like, what?
I just love it because it was just basically like a fuck you to all these all these social media assholes who are like, oh, NBC is going to dump Drew Brees. NBC is going to dump Drew.
No,
He
they
doesn't-
did. They did.
Is it for
Yeah,
sure? Is
they,
it done?
I believe they fired him.
I don't think they did, man.
From what I saw,
think he's
I thought they
I
fired
think he's
him.
still there.
Stat girl. Oh wait,
Yeah.
we don't have
That
okay.
That's me.
So,
That was
Sorry.
hey,
Don't
stat,
call me a girl.
Hey, stat bitch.
that was
Because I have boobs doesn't make me a girl.
that was
Hey, stat bitch.
What am I looking up? Drew Brees.
You forgot that soon.
I smoke weed. I'm sorry.
Drew Brees NBC.
NBC. There we go.
Yeah,
Wait, what am I looking up?
from everything I read, he's still there. You're trying to figure
Bing
out what
bong.
to do here with him.
Hello, motherfucker.
And now, like with,
SI says Drew Brees to leave NBC after 1 year. So I
but
don't
it's
know.
not for sure. It's not, and that's why he put out the tweet.
Right.
Was like, I don't know what my future is yet.
And
I'm
to
still here, as far as I know.
go even further into it, something I know neither one of you is going to know, and you're going to make fun of me for knowing. But the following day after all that, the dude was on Ellen DeGeneres' show and was laughing at that.
Okay.
Like, not laughing like, oh, they actually believe it. Laughing like, yeah, I could come out of retirement right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny, and it's even funnier that people believe it could happen.
Right.
So now,
But so many people latched onto it. Though.
they did, and that's the thing.
It was like, oh, Drew Brees is coming out of retirement. Do you know what? Never mind. I'm not even gonna get into it. Never mind.
To bring everything full circle,
Do it.
I make that comment in the same way Josh Donaldson called him Jackie.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
He's not coming out of retirement, but I'm going to say he is because he said he was, even though he's not.
But you might say it as a joke, but so many people
Right,
latched
they
onto it.
totally bought into it.
And they were like, oh, Drew Brees is going to come back out of retirement. Oh, he liked their draft so much, he's going to go.
No,
What are you like? I
think
just
that
want to
was-
ask these people if they actually put together a comprehensive thought process ever. Like I just, were you dropped on your head as a child? Did you eat paint chips? Like what is
We're
this?
even
under
at the
power
point
lines?
with the paint chips though. Like my generation, the paint chips were gone. The lead was out of them. So even my generation, the paint chips doesn't really apply.
Maybe he had the
anymore.
power lines.
Power lines.
Well,
for
you lived under
sure.
power lines?
Oh,
Yeah.
I lived under power lines.
Well,
All right,
swimming
you
like did you swim in Lake St. Clair too many times?
right. You boys
like-
ready to drink this?
2 months ago. Not literally.
Yeah. So all right. So this is gonna be
All right, motherfuckers, let's take a timeout and taste this.
We got rainbow sherbet.
This is Rainbow Sherbet from Prairie Artisan Ales.
I was so looking forward to this drink that I made sure the last show wasn't my last show, just so I could come back and try this.
and I'll give you this little shot glass. There you go, sir. And this is, what is this called again? Rainbow Sherbet?
Rainbow Sherbet by, who the hell is it from?
By
It looks
Prairie-
like Busch Light.
Yeah,
Oh,
Prairie Artisan Ales.
Prairie Artisan Ales. Okay.
Yes,
Just looking at it, looks like Busch Light.
kind of does.
It smells decent.
You good?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Cheers. Not a fan.
Nope.
I'm not a fan.
I don't hate it, but it wouldn't be the first thing I'd order.
I mean, listen. So if we were out at a tailgate and
Yeah.
that was what was there, I'd probably drink it.
Yeah.
But I don't like it. I'll tell you that.
I don't hate it. I don't like it. I would drink like one or two of them, and then
I'm not even. I'm not even sure. Like there's a
just for a change of pace.
like there's an aftertaste.
Yeah.
If the choices are that or I die of thirst, I die of thirst.
That's nasty.
Yeah.
I would probably give that like a 2.7.
I'm like a 2.2.
Okay.
I'm talking like 0.7.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that was not. I'm not a fan.
And
Not
the
a
only
fan.
reason it's getting the 0.7 is because this is the first one that doesn't taste like straight up hops to me.
Hops.
So I'll give them that one. I was really looking forward to this because I was like, Rainbow Sherbet, that should actually be pretty good. Like smooth and it just,
No, I sound drunk.
yeah.
Not off that.
Okay, it's called a sour ale. That makes sense because it does taste sour.
Yes, it definitely has a sour.
But
note to it,
I
for
had
sure.
I forgot what it was called. So it's over. There's a little like small brewery place over in St. Clair Shores. My buddy took me to, and they had a sour ale there, which was really fucking yummy. It was great. This is nowhere near that level. Like for a this was just not good. I did not dig this.
I'm
one
not.
at all.
I'm not a huge fan of sours, but this one I didn't hate, and I would probably drink it again. But again, it wouldn't be my first choice.
Yeah,
All right, motherfuckers, let's take a timeout and taste this.
Which we just did.
which we just did. Brought to you by Time Out with Steven Scott, presented by Bald Man Entertainment.
Yes.
I wish we didn't. That's one I wish I didn't try.
That's fair.
I'm with you there. I'm not a fan of that. Not a fan.
Yep.
I was looking forward to that too. I was like, we talk about sherbet. You're like, oh, sherbet.
I mean, I made the joke tongue in cheek, but like I was looking forward to trying this one. I was like, this might actually be one I enjoy.
That's what she said.
It was.
Guess that's why she's a list.
Jesus. Well played, sir. Well played.
I've missed so many of them
That was good.
over the last year or so
was
that
solid.
that one just timed out perfectly.
It did. It did. Oh, anyways.
God, do I hate you sometimes?
Join the crowd. Even the people who love me the most say that a lot.
They've said it to me before.
Yeah, well, I think some of those that you're talking about probably still hate me.
Some of those, yes.
Oh man.
If you'd like, I'll send out a group text to check out all of them tonight.
Yeah, would you mind doing that? Yeah.
Let's get a roll call. Who all still hates them?
Just throw me in the group text and don't tell anybody that I'm actually in there, so that I could see all the comments.
Just go on there real quick, change your number. I'll
Yeah.
plug you in there, then you see everything.
Oh man.
I'll even include Chris so he can kind of instigate it all.
So I will tell you, there was. I won't give the full scenario. We'll maybe talk about it off the air. But so there was a scenario where somebody has me blocked on Facebook, right?
There's probably a lot
Okay.
of those.
There might be some of them.
Are we talking about ones that potentially have me blocked as well?
Yes.
Okay.
So if somebody blocks you on Facebook, you're not supposed to see anything that
Except
they're
sometimes.
that they're tagged in or that they're, you're not supposed to see any of that.
Right.
And I don't go looking for stuff like somebody I just don't. I don't care. It's Facebook. I don't give a shit.
Right.
But somebody that has me blocked, somebody wished them a happy birthday with a post and put a bunch of pictures and videos and said happy birthday to them in a post.
Were you friends with this other person?
No.
Okay, so you
that's
have nothing
so
to
that's
do
the other
with either
scenario.
of them.
So I was not friends with this other person. This other person and I, after I looked into it, only have 6 people that we're friends with mutually.
Any of them comment
And
on
none of them commented on or
Okay.
did anything with
Did
it.
they like it?
But no.
Okay.
Nobody I knew liked it, did anything with it. And I don't know this person, but for some reason, this happy birthday post showed up on my news feed. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here, Zuckerberg? What are you
Yeah, right.
What the fuck are you doing here, buddy? So I actually had mentioned it to this person. I was like, so I have an odd question. This is the way I pose it. I go, I have an odd question for you. And I have an even odder reason for asking you this question.
Did you unblock me?
I go, no, I pretty much knew. I go, you still have me blocked on Facebook, right? The answer was yes. And I go, okay, well, here's the even odder reason I'm asking you, because a happy birthday post to you showed up on my news feed. That's not supposed to happen. Don't know why. Don't know. It was the fucking oddest thing ever. I'm like, all right, what is going on with the Facebook Zuckerberg fucking behind the scenes shit that this shows up on my news feed when in reality it's not supposed to.
So the only way I know to get around that, not that I've tried, but
Sounds like you have.
So,
If-
sounds like somebody's delved into this.
Yeah, right.
if you go into Facebook history, like the memories section,
Right.
and somebody who has blocked you commented on something, sometimes they will show up on there, and if you click their page, it will allow you to go to their page
Okay.
every once in a while. But I have not heard about the timelines.
That's
that's
it was
the new one.
It was so strange for me because and for the longest time I hadn't even thought about this person having me blocked. Like it was just never thought about it. Never
Right.
cared. Never thought about it. Then all of a sudden it popped that popped on my newsfeed. I was like, wait a second, did I get unblocked? And I looked into it. I was like, nope, still blocked. It was just a really random, weird, strange thing that happens with these social media fucking things going on.
Now you see why I'm not on it much anymore.
I really am
Actually-
not either, truthfully.
The amount of time I'm on it is probably a shit ton because I will leave my phone open and I'll leave it on Facebook or Instagram all the fucking time.
So if I like sitting here, I pulled up Facebook to share the show as it started.
Right.
Now I've still had it on. It's still sitting there on. I've done that before. Like
Yeah.
I've jumped on to do something on our
Yeah.
page and left it up.
Yep.
But for the
it
most
all the
part,
time.
like social media to me, I'm way far out of it compared to how I used to be. Like I'm not on it a whole lot. Every once in a while I'll hop on for the show or to share stuff about my daughter. And every once in a while I log on. Like if something pops up, like if you guys are talking about something, I want to scroll Facebook and see what's going on. Like Facebook's one of the instant things I go to for like news. Because if it's going on right now, you're going to see it on Facebook.
Oh, absolutely.
People are going to comment on
Oh,
it. So
absolutely.
I hop on there and I'm like, all right, what's going on here?
When I heard about today, literally rather than going on any of the news sites, I just
Went on
jumped on
Facebook.
Facebook. I was like, there would be 37 articles right when I log onto it. I'll
Yep.
find something.
And that was the truth.
It
Because I did the
was.
same thing. I did the same
Like,
thing.
I wish it wasn't, but it was.
Yeah, no, I heard about it and I did the same thing. I hopped right on Facebook. I was like, I know I'm going to find it on here.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel like Googling it. I was just like, let me hop on here.
Yeah, there's sometimes anymore where I Google shit that's like going on in the world, and I'm like, what happens if I die? Like, if I die and somebody looks at my search history and they see I search for this, like, this isn't like getting caught with porn. This is like weird shit. The amount of times I've searched for Putin being dead, like
that's the search history you're worried about.
yeah, I'm not worried about the stuff that you're gonna find anyways. I'm worried about
that shit happen. Okay.
No, that's where you get a backup plan. You get a friend who deletes your history once you die.
Yeah.
There you go. Nice.
Let's get out
All
of here.
right. Anything else, boys?
No. Yeah. No.
We covered everything and nothing at the exact same time.
Yeah.
today.
Anyway, so that brings our show to a close. Check us out on social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. You can find all of our podcasts at your favorite podcast provider. Check out SOTDET.com.
And maybe on your unfavorite ones.
And maybe there's one you don't like that you can check out our podcast on. As long as you check out the podcast, we don't give a shit. You can like the provider, not
Just
like
always
the
wanted
provider.
to say that when you were doing that.
Yeah. Again, check out SOTDET.com. Maybe buy some merchandise.
Red sweatshirts.
Maybe Frank's really sold on trying to sell you on the red sweatshirt.
Red sweatshirts.
They're fantastic. There's lots of stuff on there for you to buy. SOTDET.com. Click on shop and buy some merch from us. Thank you.
Or for us.
Or for us. You can buy it for us.
I'll
I mean,
take free merch of
we buy
ours.
our own shit, but you can buy it for
You
us.
can buy it for us too. As long as somebody's buying it.
As always, we want to thank everybody for listening and or watching. On behalf of Chris and Frank, I'm Joe. We are Sports on Tap Detroit. See you next Tuesday.
And that is it for us today.
No! God, please, no!
Bye. Have a great time.
No! God!
Bye, guys.
No. Bye, buddy.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
It's never goodbye.
You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs.
And you were meant to be here tonight.
You guys will always be in my heart.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
I think the most important part is that we all stay together throughout.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Live. Fight like hell. The best thing I have ever done, the best thing I will ever do, is be a dad.
God, I love you guys. Mamba out.